Welcome to another Tech Help video brought to you by AccessLearningZone.com. I'm your instructor, Richard Rost. This is part 3 of my Excel automation series. Part 3 of 3 as of right now. And I'm showing you how to take data from Access and get it over into Excel. We've got our data in there right now in a new sheet. Now we're going to add some formatting and do some cool stuff and save the file. All right, here we go. Okay, so we've got it exporting, we've got it creating a new file, it's doing all this stuff, it's pretty cool. We have to save the file, right? Be nice to save it to our drive and add some formatting like I mentioned before. So how do we do all that? Well, let's do this and we'll come back to our code. So after all of this is done, after we're done exporting, let's save the sheet, save the workbook. See, I always call it a sheet. Save the workbook. Okay. And I'm going to save it without prompting, which means it's going to overwrite it if it exists, because this is generally something that's like a temp file. You're going to keep exporting it, exporting it, exporting. And if you want to change the file name, you can. That's up to you. But we already reserved a variable for file name, which is right there. That's what this is going to be. So I'm going to say file name equals current project.path. That takes the folder that your database is in, and that's what that is. So if it's in C:\my database, that's what current project.path is. We're going to add on to that a backslash, and then we're going to add record source. So whatever this is, if it's customer T, if it's customer Q, whatever it happens to be, that goes in the file name, and .xlsx. That's the name of the extension of an Excel file. Okay, now the command to save is Excel workbook.save as, and then the file name. And that'll work just as it is, but I also want to turn off the warning messages. It's like how in Access, we got set warnings, right? Well, in Excel, it's Excel app.display alerts equals false, right? And then the same thing after that, turn them back on. It's like set warnings in Access. Don't leave them off, unless you want to leave them off, then you can leave them off. But that will save the file without prompting. Okay, and without warning you. Save it. Let's give it a shot. Let's try it out. And hit the button. And it's going to do its thing. And then you should see, yep, there it goes right there, customer t.xlsx. And if I close this, it's not prompting me anymore. And if I go to my folder, where's the folder? There it is. Oh, there we go. There's our file. Beautiful. And yes, you can use automation to then automatically email this to someone too. That's a whole separate video. But I do have videos on it. Now, the whole point of doing all this in the first place was so we could add some formatting and do some other stuff aside from just dumping the data, right? So let's come here right after we add the column headers, and we're going to say format the header row. We're going to say Excel sheet.rows1. Remember, the rows are 1-based. The loops in Access are 0-based. I know it's confusing. I know. This is the stuff you spend, hours pulling your hair out because it doesn't work. All right. So that row, Excel sheet.rows1 .font .color equals whatever color you want using RGB. So the RGB function, right? It's red, green, blue, 0 to 255. Let's make it white. 255, 255, 255. Right? And I have to put after that white. Okay. Now let's set the background color. And again, you'd think that they could stay consistent between the different Office apps, but they're not, right? In Access, it's back color. Here, it's interior. Ooh, interior color. Interior color. Ooh, ah. And what do we want for that? Let's go with a dark blue. So I'm going to go 0, and then maybe, 50. All right, and this will be dark blue. Bleh. Okay, save it. Now let's see what it looks like. You ready? Click. And, ooh, look at that. Snazzy. All right. Let's left align the first column where the ID is. And that's pretty much, you could pretty much always do that with pretty much every row, right? If it's an ID. Or we could even check to see if the name of that column is ID. I mean, you can do all kinds of stuff here. Let's just left align it. So right down here after we write out all that data, right here, left align column 1. Okay, Excel sheet dot columns 1 dot horizontal alignment equals minus 4131. Where did I get that number from? Well, that's the value that represents Excel left. I'll explain in just a second. But remember, we're doing late binding, so we can't use any of these fancy variables. Okay? If you do set up a reference under Tools References to the Excel library, right, the Microsoft Excel 16 object library, you can look through all the constants and the variables and stuff like that. I find it easier just to Google for it. Like if you know you want to use horizontal alignment, and it'll give you those numbers, or even ask ChatGPT for them, and it's really easy to get. See, I just told ChatGPT I'm using VBA with Access in Excel and late binding. Can you give me the available settings for the columns.horizontal alignment property and all their numeric constants? And there they are. This is one of the things that ChatGPT is really good for, is taking stuff that you know already how to do it, kinda, but just give me the details that I need. Okay, so as you can see, left is negative 4131. Right, there's general, which is the default. Center, right, fill, justify, center across selection, and distributed. And there they are. So if you want right align, just take that value. Just keep these on hand. You know, that's the easiest way to get these instead of digging through stuff. Now, the nice thing about this code we wrote, like I said before, let's not say that. I made some changes. Let's not say that. We can very easily change what we're exporting. Let's say we want to export, what do we got? Customer order queue, what's that? Customers with all their orders. How about just the customer LFQ, the customers with their last name, first name. Let's do that one. So we'll just come over here. We'll switch this to customer LFQ, save it, and then export that. And there you go. See? How nice and simple and quick and fast. We should have a customer LFQ file now sitting there. Let's come back out and check our folder. And there it is. See? Now you just send this away. So that pretty much is that. Now, if you want to learn more about this Excel automation stuff, if you're enjoying this, if you're having fun, I need you right now to post a comment down below, whether you're on YouTube or on my website, and let me know you want to learn more about Excel automation. Okay? I do have some lessons planned for my Access developer students. If you want to see more videos on this, let me know. Squeaky wheel gets the grease. I do have more lessons available on Word automation, where I show you basically how to do the same thing with Microsoft Word, creating documents in Word. That's in Access Developer 39. And also in my document index video, I think it's pretty much the same thing. I cover a little bit more of it in the developer lesson. And of course, in my Access email seminar, I teach Outlook automation with the classic Outlook, not the new web-based version, the old school Outlook, right, that came with Office, comes with Office, the desktop version, where you can then take this Excel document, right, and then we can send that as an attachment through Outlook using automation as well. So that's covered in my email seminar. Yeah, this is an older picture. Sorry, I have to update that still. So that's going to do it for now for part 3. Like I said, if you want to learn more about this stuff, post some comments down below. I have something different planned already for tomorrow, for Wednesday the 29th video, but on Thursday, I'm going to show you how to go the other direction. We're going to start in Excel. It's going to be an Excel Learning Zone video, right? But it's going to have some Access stuff in it too. We're going to start with an Excel spreadsheet, and then we're going to click a button and have it pull down the information from Word, or from Word. I'm thinking about Word right now. From Access. So I'm in Excel now, and my user can then click the Import Customers button, and it does the same thing in reverse. We're going to have Excel go out to Access and pull in the information that way. Then, of course, our button slides over here. But that's fine. That's okay. We can deal with that. Right? Now, they're going to have to obviously have the Excel or the Access database on their network. But let's say you got users who really don't care to have it, Access. You don't want to bother making them a front end. They just want to open up an Excel sheet, hit a button, and pull in the data from your Access database. Yeah. I'm going to show you how to do that on Thursday the 30th of May, 2024. And if you're watching this in the future, if you've come to us from some future land, like the year 2027, well, it's already going to be on my website and my YouTube channel. But for the rest of us, you got to wait a few days. Or sign up and become a member, and you can watch it right now. But that's going to be your Tech Help video for today. I hope you learned something. Live long and prosper, my friends. I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and post any comments you may have below. I do try to read and answer all of them as soon as I can. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, which is completely free. Click the bell icon and select all to receive notifications when new videos are posted. Want to learn more? Click the Show More link below the video to find additional resources and links. YouTube does a pretty good job of hiding it. It's right down there. See this part of the description here, right? The name, the video's up here. There's a little Show More down there, right down the bottom. It's kind of hard to find. But once you click on that, you'll see a list of other videos, additional information related to the current topic, free lessons, and lots more. And YouTube no longer sends out email notifications when new videos are posted like they used to do. But if you'd like to get an email every time I post a new video, click on the link to join my mailing list. And you can pick how frequently to get emails from me, either as they happen, daily, weekly, or monthly. Now, if you'd like to become a paid member of my channel and receive all kinds of awesome perks, click on the Join button. You'll see a list of all the different membership levels that are available, each with its own special perks, including my extended cut videos, access to my code vault, lots of VBA source code in there, template downloads, and lots more. I'll talk more about these perks at the end of the video. Even if you don't want to commit to becoming a paid member and you'd like to help support my work, please feel free to click on the tip jar link. Your patronage is greatly appreciated and will help keep these free videos coming. I got some puppies to feed. But don't worry, no matter what, these free tech help videos are going to keep coming. As long as you keep watching them, I'll keep making more, and they'll always be free. Now, if you really want to learn Access and you haven't tried my free Access Level 1 course, check it out now. It covers all the basics of Microsoft Access, including building forms, queries, reports, and more. It's over 4 hours long. You can find it on my website or on my YouTube channel. I'll put a link down below you can click on. And did I mention it's completely free? The whole thing, free, 4 hours. Go watch it. And okay, a lot of you have told me that you don't have time to sit through a 4-hour course. So I do now have a quicker Microsoft Access for Beginners video that covers all the basics faster in about 30 minutes. And no, I didn't just put the video on fast forward. But I'll put a link to this down below as well. Now, if you like level 1, level 2 is just $1. That's it, $1. And that's another whole 90-minute course. Level 2 is also free for paid members of any level, including supporters. So if you're a member, go watch level 2. It's free. Okay, want to get your question answered in a video just like this one? Visit my TechHelp page and send me your question there. Members get priority, of course. While I do try to read and respond to all of the comments posted below in the comments section, I only have time to go through them briefly a couple of times a month, and sometimes I get thousands of them. So send me your question here on the TechHelp page, and you'll have a better chance of getting it answered. And while you're on my website, be sure to stop by my Access forum. We've got lots of lively conversations about Microsoft Access and other topics. I have a fantastic group of moderators who help me answer questions. Shout out to Alex, Kevin, Scott, Adam, John, Dan, Juan, and everybody else who helps out on the site. I appreciate everything you do. I couldn't do it without you. Be sure to follow my blog, find me on Twitter, and of course on YouTube. Yeah, I'm on Facebook too, but I don't like Facebook. Don't get me started. Now, let's talk more about those member perks if you do decide to join as a paid member. There are different levels: Silver, Gold, Platinum, and Diamond. Silver members and up get access to all of my extended cut tech help videos, one free beginner class every month, and some other perks. Gold members get all the previous perks, plus access to download the sample databases that I build in my TechHelp videos, plus access to my code vault where I keep tons of different functions that I use, the code that I build in most of the videos. You'll also get higher priority if you do submit any TechHelp questions. Now, answers are never guaranteed, but you do go higher in the list for me to read them. And if I like your question, you got a good chance of it being answered. You'll also get one free expert level class each month after you've finished the beginner series. Platinum members Get all the previous perks plus even higher priority for TechHelp questions. You get access to all of my full beginner level courses for every subject. And I cover lots of different subjects like Word, Excel, VBA, ASP, lots of different stuff, not just Access. These are the full-length courses found on my website. You get all the beginner ones. In addition, once you finish the expert classes, you get one free developer class per month. So lots of training. And finally, you can also become a Diamond sponsor. You'll have your name or your company name listed on a sponsors page that will be shown on each video as long as you're a sponsor. You'll get a shout out in the video and a link to your website or product in the text below the video and on my website. So that's it. Once again, my name is Richard Rost. Thank you for watching this video brought to you by accesslearningzone.com. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something today. Live long and prosper, my friends. I'll see you again soon.